Oo na. Hindi, A lang ako. Y'all ignore my look today. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I had to go get my car this morning. I got a flat tire on when I guess it was like Wednesday before I flew out to Dallas, and then ended up having to go get it when I got back on Friday night. So, long story short, got my workout in and then just went and got my car. So, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day. Hopefully you had some time to relax and just take a break and just pour into your moms and for all the mothers on here, yourselves as well. We are, I mean, honestly, I just can't even get this in my head, but we are almost in the 15th of May, which is wild. So we're almost at the 15th protocol. For those that don't know what 15th protocol is, it's a good time for y'all to look at your goals and where you're trending in your goals, so that you can double down or chill out for the remainder of the month if you've already hit your goals. So all that to say is it could go one of two ways. You either need to double down or you can take some time to get a break and just get some operations and systems in place. We just wrapped up last week, we wrapped up Value Squared, and we're going to now on Mondays, we're going to start Win with Sellers. I'm going to say that again. We're going to do Win with Sellers. I'm excited about going through this. I've never gone through it, so I think it'll be fun for all of us to work through. How can we provide more value when working with sellers? One thing I think is interesting, I was at the gym this morning and one of the trainers was asking me about the market. Um, because they just had a house just go live on their street, way overpriced. And in front of the entire gym, I said, yeah, the market, if priced correctly, we are still seeing multiple offers, but this is not the market, nor is any market a good idea to overprice a house and just have it sit. And so I think it's important reminder for all of us, y'all, if they're highly motivated, it will sell if it's priced correctly. If it is not priced correctly, it is going to sit. And with that time means you're going to get blown up with a bunch of angry, upset sellers because their expectations are not being met. So we're going to go through when with sellers, and I'm going to pull this up just so y'all can see it. If you do not know how to find this curriculum, I want to just give y'all a friendly reminder. You're going to go to KW Command and go into Connect, and then I just put up here in the search bar Win with Sellers, and I now have Win with Sellers pulled up. And y'all can pull this workbook up so that you can go through it with me. But I thought this was interesting at the very, very beginning, before it even starts the class. It gives you a friendly reminder about tracking. Why do we track our contacts to appointments to signed agreements to close? Can somebody unmute yourself and tell me why we do that? Why do we track?
I believe that's our job to track and keep up to make sure everything's moving smoothly the way it needs to be, so we don't have any big hiccups. We can stay at the know-how with what's going on with the client and also the person on the other end, whether it's the lender, the seller, or whoever. So if we track and stay on track, we'll be on track. If you fail to
Well,
play, you're playing to fail.
yeah, you're creating awareness, right? So, and the reason why I say that is, okay, let's just talk about athletes because that's easy for me. Whether you're in football, basketball, track, golf, everything surrounds numbers. So most athletes have a coach that is coaching them to improving their numbers, right? If you look at baseball, what's your baseball stats? If you're playing basketball, how many free throws, like, how many are you hitting and how many are you not? And it's really hard to coach somebody if they're not tracking, because then we're coming at life emotionally and not strategically. And so I want to give y'all a friendly reminder. You don't have to have this fancy tracker, but you do need to know how many contacts were actually a lead, how many leads turned into an appointment, and then how many people actually signed on to work with you, right? And so before it even gets into the curriculum, It goes back to the basics, and that is tracking your numbers. And I don't need it, obviously. And I don't need to see what y'all are tracking. Your coach should see that. But it's really hard to get better at something, and we all need to get better at the sales process and the sales cycle. It's very hard for us to get better at it if we don't start with awareness and tracking. So my hope today is that y'all will pick up, even if it's a notepad, and do tick marks. But my hope today is that y'all will start tracking. But I want to hit on this because it talks at the very beginning, introduction, it talks about mindset and models, which if you have ever been through any Keller Williams curriculum, most of it starts with mindset and then it talks about a model. Um, just a friendly plug. My brother, I'm interviewing my brother on the podcast this week, and the first thing he talks about is mindset. He is an athletic director. He's a head football coach. I think any coach, any athlete, any competitor is going to first speak to mindset. And so there's a reason why mindset has to come first, and then we put in the work and the activity second. But I want to go through this real quick, and then I'm going to get y'all to write down some of these questions. I don't know how to move this thing. Oh, there it goes. Hold on. Let me get this out of the way. It says mindset and practices of top agents. It said words of wisdom. When you interview the top people, their biggest challenges invariably they will tell you it's mindset, i.e., keeping your mindset strong, focused, and positive. With all the challenges, obviously, that we have every single day. And I think all of us would agree on the call. If we've been in the business if you've only been in the business for a year, your mindset is struggling with, are you valid, right? Do you know what you're doing? Are you able to get a deal, right? So like you've got that type of mindset. If you're somebody that's been in the business for a long time, a lot of the top producers right now are trying to protect their mindset because they're tired, right? We're dealing with missed expectations from sellers and buyers. And then how do we continue to stay focused? How do we keep positive? And then how do we keep pouring into ourselves so that we can maintain a positive mindset? And so it says agents who succeed at a high level are persistent, dedicated, and consistent. I'm going to say that again. This is a huge opportunity for everybody. Number one, are you persistent? I think most of us on the call are. Are you dedicated? Are you committed to serving more people in real estate? And are you consistent? And the consistency, I think, is a lot of our opportunities because as entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, it's very hard because we don't have anybody holding us accountable. And so the consistency is the key to the success, right? And it talks about what top listing agents do, right? To anticipate and handle almost every type of scenario that they come across. They talk about prioritizing and managing leads. They get to know their sellers, right? Somebody talked about this at the citywide mastermind. Y'all, we have forewarn, right? And I know a lot of people use that for safety. But if you don't know the seller before you're going to the appointment, go do your research. Get on LinkedIn, get on Forewarn and get some background information, right? Get on social media. Learn who they are. Find out what they enjoy in life. You could learn a lot just by following somebody on social media, right? Um, our decision facilitators. Guys, we have to be persistent and consistent in helping people move through the decision making process. Our job is to make it so simple that they can easily decide that this is the route they want to go because that's the route that's going to work best for their family, right? So we're decision facilitators. They master conversations, right? So they're constantly having conversations and they're doing it systematically. They hire a coach for accountability. They know their numbers, which we've already talked about. They are efficient and effective with time, and they leverage technology, obviously. And then I'll talk about the 6 personal perspectives another day. But all that to say is mindset is everything. And if you'll listen to the podcast that it's about to launch, my brother talks about that at length. But I want to make sure that everybody on the call today is checking their mindset, right? So that we can go at this week with a positive mindset. And then I'm going to write these questions. I don't know if somebody can hit these questions in the chat. But the first question is, And I think y'all need to actually go through this exercise and we can talk about it next week. What do you enjoy most about working with sellers? So, what do you enjoy about working with sellers? What are some challenges in working with sellers? What is your business goal for your listing business this year? And then, how will you know when you've achieved your goal? So, I want to know what you enjoy, what your challenges are, your goal for listing business this year, and how do you know when you've achieved it? What are y'all hearing me say?
I'm hearing you say plan and prepare and strategize. And also for me being a new agent with the tracking, make sure I track to see what works to get me clients and what don't because I'm new in the field. So I'm hearing you say basically prepare.
Prepare. I love that. What else? Somebody else unmuted.
Know your numbers and know your people. Know your seller. I love how you said go out there and research them, because you know what, they're researching us. They're going on Google, they're going on chat, they're going on all of that, and they know us before we hit the door. So shame on me if I don't research my client and know them and get to know them. I get on a call with them just to qualify them before I even do business with them, but just doing that background work beforehand. And I don't do that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you, right? I'm reading Seven Levels of Communication right now. If you haven't had a chance to read it, I'd encourage you to read it. But Seven Levels of Communication talks about when y'all are meeting with them too, find out like what you can do to serve them without them hiring your services. So instead of just going at everything as sales, like how can you find out how you can serve them ahead of time, and be a solution provider and whatever it is. I mean, they may need, I don't know, I'm just making this up, carpet or wood flooring or whatever, and they may not be interested in transacting in the next 12 to 24 months. But y'all are there to find out what it is they need. But the goal is just to call, obviously, and connect with people. So I want us to get back to what is our goal? What do we want to do in terms of listings, right? And the reason why we want listings is because we control the inventory. So that's all I've got. We're going to do win with sellers. COTD. Do we have any COTD for today or this week, Leslie? I know Linda's out.
Yeah, we have Ignite continuing today. I know that Phillips had a really great class for that, so hoping to see everyone show back up this week. Tomorrow we have team meeting. It's going to be a really great one. We are going to be going over we're going to be doing an AI marketing workshop, giving you guys some prompts to plug into your chat, which will give you some content to leave with to push out. So that'll be a great one to be at. Please make sure you bring your laptop so you can work along with us. And then Thursday is Red Day, so we hope to see you all there.
So we've got a lot going on this
And
week.
Sarah, tomorrow we also have Luxury Mastermind as well.
Yes,
Luxury
sorry, Rachel. I
Mastermind
meant to say that one too.
is tomorrow. What time is that?
It's at
9
9 a.m.
a.m. Yep.
Okay. 9 a.m. until what time? Sorry, y'all.
So we go about until 10. What time is team meeting?
Is it at 11?
11.
Okay, so yeah, usually we'll go about until 10:30-ish, 10:45 maybe, depending on how the conversation goes. We'll do the learning series first and then mastermind follows.
Awesome. All right, so 9 o'clock is the luxury mastermind. So be there, and y'all, we have a lot going on this week. I want you showing up, getting into activity, and let's make it a great week. And then Thursday we're gonna go serve together. I appreciate y'all. We will see y'all. Sorry, my mom keeps calling me back to back. I will see y'all on the call tomorrow. Y'all make it a blessed day. Bye, everybody.